Hello, Boone County educators. This is Jenny Watson, Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Schools, wanting to come back to you again regarding some new curriculum updates. This is the second video that I put out over the summer. And by the way, I hope you are enjoying some rest and relaxation. And not worried too much about curriculum, but I know some of you, and I know some of you are anxious to dive into curriculum work over the summer as well. So we have some updates regarding science and social studies. I am going to start with the why again to make sure we're all clear on our goals. This year, again, we're growing students by at least a year's growth in literacy and numeracy, as evidenced by their academic data. However, if I'm identified as an at-risk student, to close those gaps, we have to grow those students by more than a year. How do we do that? We're really focused again on the opportunity myth and the 4 key commitments. We'll continue to engage in professional learning and support all throughout the year next year regarding deep engagement and how do we define that as a system. High expectations for not just some learners, but all learners. We have student access to on or above grade level assignments throughout the instructional day, every day, and strong instruction. How do we do that? Our vision as a system is to have rigorous, relevant, equitable, accessible learning experiences for all students. We know that we need to define that, and that's what the opportunity myth and those 4 key commitments helps us do, is define what we mean by this. As a team, we need to embrace a PLC mindset in Boone County. I know many of us do that really well. Our goal is to continue to focus on that interdependence of one another. We know that that's how we improve instruction, is reliance upon each other, both within our schools and across our system. We know that our data matters, perception data matters, and core instruction matters. But another pivotal piece to this work about PLCs is what is the curriculum and what are those curriculum documents that we're looking at in order to make strong instructional decisions for students. In addition to those curriculum documents, we need to make sure we're all aware of this transition to MTSS for the next school year, where we're really focusing on Tier 1. That is the instruction on priority and supporting standards. It includes both direct instruction and student practice. It includes guided reading and stations. We all have common formative assessments that we're working on. They can be informal or more formal, and that, of course, is executed by you as the classroom teacher. Tier 2 is our supplemental program. That includes more intervention, reteach, or extending on priority standards based on those formative assessment data, and that is provided by the grade level team in addition to what's happening in Tier 1. Tier 3 is more of that intensive support. That is remediation. Notice, Tier 2 is intervention. Tier 3 is remediation. This is focused primarily on targeted deficit areas and foundational skills. We're using our diagnostics assessment, CBM, and FastBridge as our progress monitoring tool for that Tier 3. Primarily, that is owned by our interventionists in our schools. The what? This is where I wanted to get in to show you some of the work that's happened with some fabulous teachers and instructional coaches on June 1st and June 2nd in revising our science and social studies. You all should have access to this BCS Aligned Curriculum Shared Drive 2022-23. If it doesn't show up in your shared drives, you have something up here called Hidden Drive. Click that once and it should appear. So when you click on elementary, you can see CTE and arts we've already done. Math has already been done, and reading and writing, we've already finished that one. Science and social studies are where our revisions happened. It is important that you all know K through 5 has standards for both science and social studies that have to be embedded throughout our instructional day. So if I click on just kindergarten, you'll see the units of study here. And primarily the language changes have shifted to ensure that our priority standards are focused on the science and engineering practices, while our supporting standards are more of the discipline, more of the core discipline. That has been that way for a couple years, but I just wanted to make sure and call attention to that. In addition, if I go back here to social studies, There are some significant changes in social studies. So again, if I click on kindergarten social studies, really the language differences here are the priority standards are our inquiry standards. Our supporting standards are our content and discipline standards. So as long we're focusing on an inquiry-based mindset, and kudos again to our teachers and coaches who really worked with us to make sure that all of our compelling and supporting questions were driving our instruction with social studies this school year. So those units are all there for you to have access to. And again, we're not finished learning as a team. We'll continue to work on this. We'll have lots more professional learning and professional development opportunities for all of you this coming school year. But again, thank you to all of you who invested time on June 1st and June 2nd in working on the work. And thank you for everybody. I hope you enjoy a restful summer, and we'll see you here pretty soon.